Alrighty, y'all. So I've got another one from the same EG C9 match. This is again, if you didn't see my last video, it is week 2 VCT. This is going to be C9 versus EG on Lotus. So what I wanted to make note of a couple things here. Firstly, I want to make note of this default that EG's been running. They do a different style of take towards C that provides a lot of pressure towards C Mound, especially towards a team that you know likes to contest C. This kind of default, this mountain take is actually fantastic. What I also want to make note of is this kind of basically take note of how nature approaches his lurk on A. Um, We'll talk a little bit more about it in depth as the round progresses, but let's just like make note of how he's lurking, and I'm just gonna pause throughout and like let you guys know some key things. So let's get the video going.
Just with the team, but they still had to slow down because of that threat.
So EG has gotten confirmation from the past 3 rounds that C9 likes to fight this aggressive. Typically, it's just been KJ to play this aggressive. Last round it was KJ and Viper. Now C9 is committing 3 total players to defend C long because EG has been showing favor over here. So what EG do is they're gonna go ahead and throw this eye here, which is they've been doing from the beginning of every round. They've been throwing that eye pretty much here for early info. But what they've been doing as well is they've been throwing this Omen Smoke. And this Omen Smoke is actually super, super nice. I'm going to tell you why. So this Omen Smoke
We're all ready to go here.
allows for the members of EG
In this
to
Mound
get
space.
aggressive and forces C9 to funnel into like these tight angles, which are over here to the left hand side of Mound, right side for EG. So it forces the fights to kind of take place in one spot, so EG will have to use utility to hold this. They're kind of using EG's one-way smoke against them because it's limiting the amount of angles they can fight, and this smoke here is just straight up countering that one way, that angle towards basically this smoke is countering the one way for this angle here. So it's making this smoke now a disadvantage for C9 because they can only hold this with utility, or they're going to have to take some very limited gunfights with EG. In addition, this smoke is also going to allow Superman to TP into the smoke and get aggressive with his teammates if they wanted to make something happen.
Smoke's placed down, and Super's probably
So
forced to
Dog comes
teleport out of
in,
that
Nate's going to come
to
in.
dodge away any possible chip damage. I love this adjustment, though, for EG. This is the
So right now, EG has a strong inclining that there are 3 players towards
first
C.
time Nature's taken so much fast space. Already reading. This is a heavy C stack. That means Killjoy very likely. That solo A anchor. And he's really crept off that one.
EG will hold.
So take a note of this lurk. So this is why for a lurker, game sense and game's awareness is the most important piece of utility you can have in your arsenal. Not only is it like a specific, like not only as a Viper player, but just as like a lurk and a player in general.
So we're in the half. Now he doesn't even have to do anything. He's already set
And I'll
him up.
give you some
his team up.
context to this round. Let me go ahead and mute this. Nature has been taking heavy contact from the members of C9 the entirety of this match. They have not let him creep out rubble this entire game. They've been committing nades, they've been committing mollies, they've been committing blinds. He hasn't been able to progress A main at all. So with that in mind, he now realizes, hey, they're not doing anything towards rubble. Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on at C long, and I just got confirmation Raze is there because she just burned a nade. So what Nature's going to do is take the timing. He's going to start developing out rubble and get some space for his team. He knows they're likely probably playing towards C heavy, and A is going to be more of a passive setup. Taking that gamble, he's going to come through the smoke, and he's actually able to net his team a whole lot of space. Now he's given EG an extra option. Now they can, if they wanted to make presence towards C and then feint back to A and hit the site directly, they can now do so. I see a lot of teams, well, they'll put pressure towards C, or they'll get a kill towards Mound, and then they'll run back, but their lurker is staying here towards lobby, or is here towards rubble. And you have also, they wind up killing a whole lot of time and ruining their timing on rotations because they still have to clear out this angle, they need to smoke this off, they need to get this angle cleared, and you kill a whole lot of time doing that. So this is a fantastic lurk for from Nature. So now he's afforded his team more options. However, EG can't just rotate because it's going to be very obvious. They need to fight for this space on Mound to force C9 back to free them up to have more options. You can already see that Vanity he's poised for a rotation. He knows that there's a strong chance that EG might just rotate towards A, so he's going to play towards Waterfall to prep himself for that rotation. So in an effort to deny that option to C9, EG is going to go ahead and commit some utility. They're going to dog to make sure C9 is still playing aggressive, commit a blind, and commit Derek's showstopper to get a pick here and force C9 back. So they now have a pick here. Zeppa's in a funky spot, is going to get spammed through the box. And now C9 and now EG has a ton of options. Now they can continue to pressure C. They can run over to A because they know they can hit the site quickly, or they can go B if they want. I'm going to go ahead and alt here. Giacomo's going to get killed by Vandy, but Derek is there for the trade. Now they know likely the rotations if the rotations haven't already arrived, they're going to be on their way. So they're going to go ahead and kill the 3 players that are playing aggressive here and take advantage of the space that nature's gotten them. And they're going to go ahead and walk on to a free A bomb site. Now, Rooney has made note that, like, hey, they're not committing to C, they're not out, but look at the positioning of Moose. He's completely off site. He can't even hold this if he wanted to. So even though he's backing up and he's stalling and they know what's happening, he's already out of position, and Nature's developed enough that he could take a duel with him if he wanted to. So even though C9 has the read here, EG did a great job with developing the lurk and taking advantage of the timing that was offered to them off the rotations to have a very free and easy bomb site. The one thing that a lot of players have to recognize when playing Lotus, especially in an organized competitive setting, rotations are massive, and that you have to be rotations and timings are massive. And Lotus is very much an information game, mainly due to the fact that this rotation here is so long. So a lot of teams will opt to go ahead and pressure one site and hit the other, just because the rotation takes, absolutely like a millennia. So now EG is going to run into a free bomb site. Moose is basically locked out of this site. He's going to creep up here, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get double swung and killed by Apoth. And now it's just down to Rooney on his own, coming from rubble. Not a whole lot he can get done here. This round just shows that as a rule of thumb for Lotus, attackers who dictate the pace of the round and dictate the defender's rotations are going to come out on top. You need to know when to fight for space. You need to know when it's time to give it up, and you need to know when it's okay to walk up and take space, even if when it's granted to you like that. I see a lot of situations and a lot of players that are very hesitant to take this fight because, oh no, I've been stomped out, rubble the past 4 times. I'm not feeling confident. Like, I'm just going to stay here and wait for my team and don't die so I don't, put my team behind. But developing out here basically won his team the round. Because instead of having to take all the time and giving Moose an opportunity to rotate back into A site and potentially throw together a hold, Nature's Lurk afforded EG a way more convincing take. He had the information that they were off site. He had the information that they did not take rubble, that they weren't playing Hobbit. They had so much more information to play around with. And taking advantage of these timings of these rotations is going to be, a difference maker, and will make the difference between an elite level Lotus team. So we can see here Rooney's completely locked out of the round, and he's forced to save. So a lot of things going on in this play. Not the most complex thing or excuse me, not the most complex play we've seen, but also not the simplest play either. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Let me know in the comments if you picked up anything from it, and if you have any other questions, feel free to ask below, and I'll make sure to respond. Alrighty, y'all. We'll see you later.